Okay, so we've ranked Mario Kart, we've ranked Kirby, Lego Star Wars Battle Packs. It's about time we get around to the important things like teggie Conquest.
We will be including both the original theatrical releases and the special editions, since there's quite a bit being changed in the re-releases. All right, starting off with teggie 1.
Easy S tier.
Sleepy Joe, teggie 1 has no story at all. It goes in F tier where it belongs.
teggie 1 has Jimmy Neutron game. It is good film.
Joe's right. Despite it barely being a film, the inclusion of Jimmy Neutron, the game for Nintendo Switch, actually establishes important lore. So for that, I give it a tier. Okay, now let's do teggie 2, also known as Sakurai Death, MP4.
Put it in shitfuck F tier. The special effects are so bad.
Oh man, I love that hilarious film. It gets me every time. The first three should go in S tier by default.
Sorry, Joe, I'm going to have to side with Donald this time. The first film may be a classic, but in part 2, I'm just waiting for the real story to get going, so I vote C tier. Let's compromise at C. Okay, teggie Conquest Part 3 time. Great film. This is where things start getting serious. Plus a callback to The Matrix, one of my classic White House movie night picks. I'm going to say let's put it in a tier.
Okay, it has some sword fighting, but come on, the swords don't even move. Also, teggie has the wrong voice.
Actually, the voice is foreshadowing to Pounce in the later...
Shut the fuck up, Joe, and don't get me started on those shit Pixar characters.
I thought Good Dinosaur was a fine film. Me, Jill, and the boys enjoyed it over a home-style hot pot dinner and beans.
Save that for the later films, guys. We're still in the good old days of pure teggie. Can we agree to put 3 in a tier despite some graphics issues? Okay, teggie 4 time. I love this one.
Wait, what? There is no 4.
Oh boy, of course. Sleepy Joe slept through that one.
Trump, the entire joke of the teggie series is that it skips part 4.
Actually, Joe, it's the teggie Boy Advance commercial. That is part 4.
And that shit goes in S.
Personally, I think it's more of a C tier.
Okay, fine. You win this time, Bob Bop.
Well, in my head canon, there is no teggie 4.
Oh boy, teggie 5. A true classic.
Oh, that film hurt my head too much. I had to walk out of the theater with all the bright lights, loud noises, and mumbo-jumbo.
Are you out of your fucking mind, Joanne? This movie isn't even the most action-packed, and your sleepy ass can't handle it because you're barely clinging on to life and could drop dead any second.
This movie took things up a notch with all kinds of pop culture references. It's almost up there with Ready Player One in that regard.
Yes, I love all the crossovers, and especially how the whole film is a reference to the climax of Force Awakens, where they destroy Starkiller Base.
Trump, your Philistine ass, probably doesn't understand half the references in here. You don't even know what Check It Out with Dr. Steve Brule is so brown, 2 went right over your head. Nor do you like the clickhole Instagram Queen Elizabeth posts. You play Star Fox games.
I played Star Fox Zero for Wii U.
Not a real game.
Joe, you're right. This movie is best appreciated if you get the jokes, but let's be real, there's only about 5 people in history who even would. I'm going to have to go with the majority here and put this epic film in the S tier. Now, what do you guys think of teggie Part 6?
Okay, while Part 5 and all the sequels finally get up to today's cinematic visual standard, I think 6 is the weak link here. They should have planned it better because 6 becomes obsolete thanks to 7, where the same things happen basically. We clearly had 2 different directors on 6 and 7 trying to outdo each other like J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson. Don't get me wrong, I love Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalkers. Also, this stupid grandpa music sounds like it's from before even Sleepy Joe's time.
Trump, don't disrespect my music. I was there back in Manhattan during the rise of bebop. You might have seen me up on 52nd Street jamming with all the greats, Bird, Diz, Monk, Bud, even Dodo Marmarosa. I was there the night Dizzy came up to the bandstand and said, I just wrote a new song that goes along with the changes of what is this thing called love, and it's called Hot House.
Shut up, Grandpapa. No one cares about your sad life. And past all I remember is that you lost to me back in 2016. And that's all that matters now. Barrack put teggie 6 in the D tier.
Since it's an objectively great film with a few issues surrounding the director switch, I don't think this is quite A tier level, but I definitely wouldn't put it at B. I'm probably going to rank it at maybe B.5. Okay, let's move on to teggie Part 7, Return to Ho-Em. Michelle loves the little frozen guy in that one.
Ah, yes, the movie where liberal snowflake propaganda took over the entire franchise.
What are you talking about, you piss-brain hoe?
They get Disney Pixar involved, and the whole company is full of bullshit, do-nothing Democrats who want to brainwash the American youth. I'm all for the crossovers, but let's keep things patriotic. I mean, the whole franchise was made to show that Nintendo of America reigns supreme over all nations of Nintendo, right?
That's not actually how the story goes, but okay. Look, Donald, I know you may disagree with the non-existent politics. This film is objectively a cinematic masterpiece. It is the first film to incorporate motion blur and depth of field.
Ah, yes. Bokeh technique. cinema.
The cinematic style and action do make this movie a tier in my book.
I may be overwhelmed by these action-heavy teggie films, but I love the Shrine of Sinai. That word cracks me up every time Frozen says it.
Well, I don't think that's what he says.
You mean the Temple of Suknaup, you brain-dead moron?
The subtitles are in complete gibberish, so I'm allowed to interpret it however I want.
It's definitely Suknaup.
Fine, there goes the one thing I liked about this sad cash cow of a film.
Joe, these are the films where they finally took a welcome cue from the Marvel Cinematic Universe's genius crossover events. I may be anti-Pixar, but a good movie needs at least a few crossovers. S tier.
As the film that forever combined the cinematic universes of Pixar and Nintendo, Teggie 7 gets an S tier. Okay, on to part 8. While I am impressed by how accurately Heck Yule recreated the stage for E3 2010, I think this film is a bit too violent for the intended family audience. We quite literally see Miyamoto's bloody corpse being burned and cannibalized by Teggie. I think this belongs in D tier.
Yeah, that one was too scary for me. I had to take out the Blu-ray midway through when Pounce died and put on a different film.
Of course, you two little snowflakes are too scared to appreciate good cinema. The violence in that is nothing compared to Avengers Endgame and Final War. However, I do also think it's a shit film because they focus too much on the Pixar characters and Luba only gets 2 seconds of screen time.
D tier it goes.
Okay, let's move on to the special editions. The first few are definite improvements, and there's not much to say besides that they did Chuck dirty with the legality here. He still made the best out of these.
Yes, besides the scary new character, this film is an A tier as a visual improvement on my favorite Teggie film.
I relate to Tupson, so this movie is better than the original Teggie Part 1. A tier.
Tupson, a silly little boy. I like him. A tier it is. I also really like Teggie Part 2 Special Edition because it finally makes sense out of how people get into the 576 Teggie hothouse dimension using Tupson, and I want to put this movie in B.5 tier.
Stop trying to make new tiers, Obaba. There are only 4 tiers.
Donald, we've already established the B.5 tier. Let him have it this time.
Okay, I'm going to speak for all of us in saying Teggie Part 3 Special Edition is bullshit. It's barely a special edition, worst Teggie film in history. F tier.
I agree. I'm a purist for the original cut of 3. I always skip the special edition of this one and watch the original because of the music. It's like Blue Harvest.
Of course, you still call Revenge of the Jedi Blue Harvest still. Also, this special edition finally fixed Teggie's voice from the original. Still D tier, though.
We're putting it in F. How about Part 4 Special Edition? How did you guys do on Tupson's quiz?
It was too hard.
It's not hard, it's just wrong. It's fixed. Just like the election I beat you in. I knew I was saying correct answers, but the computer screen says something else. It's just like the Democrats in 2020 election fixing the results so that Bill Clinton would beat me. Fucking dick.
The quiz is neither wrong nor hard. It's a fun challenge and a welcome change in format for the series. I put it in B tier.
It may be hard, but I do like the new format, so I agree with B tier. I do prefer real games like cribbage, though.
Okay, we're going with majority and saying B tier. Wow, I can't believe we finally made it to the most recent Teggie film. Part 5 Special Edition.
I've never been pegged in the ass by a movie more than this piece of shit. What a trick. A cheap trick. A sham. At my expense. They told us they were finally getting rid of Pixar bullshit left-wing characters, but then halfway through, they bring back Frozone.
You asshole, you mean Frozen? He's an original character like they say in the movie.
How are you both this stupid? Frozen was originally from Incredibles 1 through 3, but then after getting sued by Pixar, Hecula Studios had to change him into an original character. Therefore, he is welcome in this incredible S-tier film.
There's only one Incredibles movie last time I checked.
I don't care what they say, he is still originally from Pixar. Therefore, forever Pixar, get him out of here. They also removed my favorite thing about this film, which was the Star Wars 7 references.
He's not a Pixar character at all. Donald, did you even pay attention to this film?
Yes, I never noticed him in Incredible One, so he's original Heck Yule.
Children need not argue. I.J.G.H.W. Bush Sr. come down to this end planet to help.
George Sr. Didn't expect to see you here alive.
Yeah, good to see you, old pal.
Some very nice men resurrected me. I have come to tell you that presidents must not argue. None of you understand copyright law. Law is really in the mouth. If Frozen says he's an original Heck Yule character, he is. Argument in.
Wow, what wise words. You're my favorite president.
You're mine too, Jothaniel Nananiel.
Now I really wonder what's going to happen in Part 6 Special Edition.
I sure hope that all the Pixar crossovers are replaced with Marvel ones.
Leave your predictions in the comments below.